Well, here we are on the bridge, which is really the center, the ship's heart of where all the action takes place and where we're able to actually see how the ship is run. Not many people get to come up here, and it's been very exciting to have a chance to look at all the equipment. Highly technical equipment up here. You can't believe the radar, the sonar, the satellite. There's so much up here. But there's one piece I wanted to show you. It's called the Shippo Meter. Now, this is really important. Pay close attention. I hope you can follow along. At this end is the American flag, which represents the United States. Now, if you follow me down to this end, the British flag. This is our end point when we cross transatlantic. This is how far we want to get to the British continent. And right here in the middle, this is a model of the Queen Mary, and there is the Commodore. There it is. And that is showing us how far we've gotten on our trip so far. You can see we're almost there. It's pretty funny. I love that they have a sense of humor up here with all the serious business that goes on. But down at this end is a very important man, Second Officer Ben Lyons. Ben, you're looking really official. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. What are you doing right now?
Well, I'm basically driving right now. That's what I'm doing. Looking out the window and driving.
You're driving the ship right now.
Driving the ship right now. Not so hard, is it?
Well, there must be more to it than just looking cool. Yeah, do you run all this equipment? That's your responsibility?
Pretty much now, along with the third officer up here, the two of us are responsible for the sort of the navigation and the safety of the ship right now. So we're monitoring all the equipment, we're making sure that we're on course, making sure that we're going fast enough, and working with our colleagues in the engine room to make sure that we arrive on time and do it safely.
That you arrive on time. What happens? Can you actually speed up the ship if we're running behind, like we were? We were about 6 hours off schedule.
Exactly. One of the great things about this ship is that it's much faster than most cruise ships, and so we can really go up to 30 knots, really, and make up any time that we've lost. So we can control that speed. Right now, we're only going 26 knots, which for most ships would be very fast, but for us, we still have a good deal of speed on top of that if we need to speed up and get there on time, we can do.
What kind of training do you have to get to your position?
Well, I went to actually the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, and I did 4 years of training and schooling there. And then after you come out of the academy, you start off as a third officer. And then you work your way up, you take more tests, you take more sea time as you progress up the ranks.
Have you ever been in a situation while you were driving this ship, which is actually quite an honor to be driving a brand new ship like this?
It's wonderful.
Right?
It's fantastic.
Have you ever had to really use the knowledge you have and like change the course of the ship? Or
well, we're always doing that constantly. I mean, of course, tonight in the English Channel will be very busy. There'll be ships all around. There'll be a lot more intense. There'll be a lot more sort of navigating and avoiding other ships. But we've successfully managed to avoid sort of any real white-knuckle situations on here so far. That's the way we like it. We like it to be calm.
Well, as I've been looking out the past 6 days, there's nothing. I never see anything but water. Have you ever seen whales or anything when you're up here?
We do see whales and dolphins relatively frequently on here, especially when we're up passing Newfoundland. When we go over the Grand Banks, it's a really rich area for marine life. You've seen whales sometimes sort of crossing right in front of us or even right down the side of the ship at times, so it does happen, yeah.
Wow. And as we're coming in tonight, it's going to be very late, right? We're coming in the wee hours of the morning.
Very early in the morning tonight, yes.
Does that put up any sort of challenge because of the darkness?
Not really. It's maybe makes it a little more difficult to try to distinguish the lights from the shoreside lights, all the navigational lights that are important to us. But we have the radars, we have the electronic charts, and we know what the lights are and what we're supposed to be seeing. So it works out quite well.
Okay, now a really important question. The 2 big chairs. Who gets to sit in these chairs?
Well, I guess we can if we want to. We sort of don't do it unless we're been a long day and need to sit down for a bit. In general, the sort of the traditional thing is that you stand and that you're looking out while you're standing.
Okay.
So they're very comfortable though, but we try to avoid that.
Why?
Just like to be standing up and keeps you alert, keeps you fresh.
Now, the other thing I was hoping to see when I got up here was a really big wooden ship's wheel.
No, it's very disappointing. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a very small plastic wheel. Yes, of course. It's. I'm afraid it's this little plastic wheel right here. It's not very big. It's a very small wheel for a very large ship, but it's that's it right there.
Wow.
Gone are the days of the big wooden and brass steering wheel, I'm afraid.
And do you ever have to actually use this?
Absolutely. Certainly coming into and out of port, or if we're in traffic situations, we have a quartermaster up here at all times, and he actually drives. He grabs the wheel, and you can turn it just like that. So it's an amazing power steering, really.
Well, Ben, you seem like you're a young man at the beginning of your career, and yet you've already driven the biggest passenger ship on the seas. So what's next for you?
We'll see. It's really a wonderful opportunity to be here. This is an amazing and a fantastic ship, really. That's not like any other passenger ships around. So we'll see. It's just such a great honor to be here. I'm happy to be here for the moment, and we'll think about what's next later on.
Well, you're doing a fine job. It was a smooth sail, so thank you so much for your time.
Glad to meet you. Thank you.